It's been a little over a year since I made this video talking about the end of the golden age of scrapbooking. And things have gotten worse, or have they? I think it's time for an update. So much has happened since I made that video. Shortly after I shared it, Pink Fresh Studio announced that they would pause the scrapbooking side of their business. This was so they could refresh, rethink, and research what their scrapbooking collections would look like moving forward. I've been following this really closely because I'm a huge fan of Pink Fresh Studio products and I want to see what's new from their designers. So far, nothing. Yes, they have released 2 collections with Paige Evans, but nothing with their original designers. And honestly, it was the original designers that were my absolute favorites. I believe it was in March that Nicole Crafts announced the acquisition of the American Crafts brand assets. Brands like We Are Makers, which was previously We Are Memory Makers, Basil Cardstock, and Pebbles Inc. These are all now under their umbrella, so on paper that makes them an even bigger player in the papercraft industry. And at the time, many of us thought that that was a really good thing, including me. What's super interesting is that since then, there's been very little word from American Crafts about new scrapbooking collections. The silence for me says a lot. There's been some movement from We Are Makers with them releasing their shadow box punchboard. I did a review of that tool and I'll leave a link to that video below. But there's been no talk at all about new scrapbooking collections. And that's a worry. Interesting too is that the shares on the American Crafts social media are all featuring older collections from sometimes years ago, perhaps in an effort to push the digital versions of these collections. There could be something to that. I've also done a little bit of detective work and found the exhibitor list for Creativation 2026, and none of the American Crafts brands are listed. This is one of the biggest industry events of the calendar, so it's a bit of a red flag to me to not see them already on the list. Now sure, there is time for them yet to still sign up, but it does have me wondering what's happening, and are we ever going to see new collections from those designers that we love? We now know that Paige Evans has moved to Pink Fresh Studio, and there's also been the move from Vicky Boutin across to 49 Market. We've heard nothing from my favourite designers, Maggie Holmes, Jen Hadfield, and Bea Valiant. And of course, there's been nothing new from those original Pink Fresh designers that I loved so much. I've also noticed a bit of a supply shortage on Basil cardstock. Where did all the Basil card go? A quick Google search tells me that they did relocate their production facilities, but that was some time ago, and something doesn't quite feel right. I don't know, does something feel off to you? I'm not sure. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just an Aussie thing, and perhaps there's plenty of basil everywhere else in the world. On a positive note, the 49 Market and Vicky Boutin collab is perfection. It feels like she should have been there all along. Oh yes, and then we had the announcement of the Joanne stores closing. And that's got me wondering, is that linked to this too? Or is that just a sign of the market? Maybe a little of both. So on face value, none of that seems all that good for the paper crafting industry. And guess what? All of that happened before tariffs, which no one wants to talk about. Let's not talk about that. It feels to me like we're in a bit of a holding pattern, like everyone is just holding their breath. Is Pink Fresh Studio continuing to hold because of the uncertainty, or is Paige Evans going to be their only designer moving forward? I hope not. Is an industry basic like Basil cardstock at risk? And why is American Crafts being so quiet? Is there more to this story that we just don't know yet? In even more recent news, Scrapbooking and Card Today magazine have just announced that they will stop their print publication at the end of the year, shifting their focus to digital content and virtual events, a move away from a physical product. Is this a real reflection of consumer demand, or does it have more to do with the ease of managing a digital product compared to a physical one right now? So what do you think? Is this all bad? Let me know in the comments, and I'd love to know too, are you having trouble finding Basil cardstock? Are you like me, impatiently waiting for a new Maggie Holmes collection? Please tell me I'm not alone. What do I think? It could be bad. It could be really bad. But I am a glass half full kind of gal. So even if I never get another new Maggie Holmes collection, I will be devastated, but all won't be lost. There are still some amazing brands to buy from, and one of my favorites is Hip Kit Club. They design all of their own products, so think of them more as a brand than a kit club. There's also Altenew and Spellbinders and big brands that have been around for a long time like Echo Park and Simple Stories. Here in Australia, we also have Cocoa Vanilla Studio and Uniquely Creative. And what I'll do is pop a list of all of these in the description box below. So if you haven't heard of them, you can check them out. Now also, we need to be honest, we all have so much stash, possibly more than we could ever use in our lifetimes. And whilst yes, it is so nice to buy new products, if I personally never bought another new product again, I have enough in my stash to be creating for years and years. I feel like there's always going to be something to buy. We just need to stay a little bit flexible. In the past, we've seen great brands come and go, and this isn't really that different. Remember Sassafras Lass, October Afternoon, Basic Grey? There's a bunch of them. I personally have been buying up some of the older Pink Fresh Studio collections and building up my stash that way. I'm hoarding these away now, just in case the original Pink Fresh Studio designers never come back. Sure, our industry has changed a lot over the last few years, and not all for the good. But here's what it comes down to for me. Crafting of any kind isn't really about the products, it's about the community. And this channel is proof of that. It's about connection and sharing our love of all the creative papery things. Are new products fun? Yes. But even if I imagine a world without them, I'm still going to spend time creating with my crafty friends. I'll still make videos and we'll all have that extra crafty challenge to use the supplies we already have. Now, if you have plenty of supplies but are looking for more inspiration to use them, press that subscribe button like a sticker to a scrapbook and be sure to watch this video next. I've flipped through 80 of my favorite scrapbooking layouts and they're sure to inspire. I'll see you all in the next video. Until then, bye.